Hello students, welcome to our today's class. In the today's class, we are going to focus on the third colligative property, which is depression in freezing point. Have you got it? So in detailed manner, A to Z, we will have complete command on the depression in freezing point. So first of all of you take it down. The third colligative property, depression in freezing point. In freezing point. Have you got it? So this is our third colligative property. So if you want to understand about this, first of all, every student should have clarity on the what is meant by freezing point. So here I want to define first what is freezing point. See, in simple way, the temperature at which vapor pressure of a liquid, vapor pressure of liquid is equal to the vapor pressure of its solid. Vapor pressure of its solid. Then the temperature we can call it as like a freezing point. First of all, we have to have clarity on what is freezing point. Freezing point means the temperature at which vapor pressure of a liquid is equal to its vapor pressure of in solid form. Okay, so then this temperature we can call it as like a freezing point. Have you got it? So I want to give you more clarity on the freezing point. So first of all, at which condition vapor pressure of liquid is equal to vapor pressure of solid? And simply, if solid and liquid both must be in equilibrium. Have you got it? So I want to give you with one example in detailed manner. Okay, so all of you focus here. Example, you take our familiar example, you all know very well. What is that? That is water I am taking. So water you take, it is in the liquid form. Okay, so just imagine this is one vessel. This vessel contains water. Just imagine. If you want to understand this concept in detailed manner, so we have to take this example. Now here water in the solid form. Water in the solid form means what is that? That is nothing but a ice. Okay, so just imagine it is ice form. Just imagine this is ice form. Have you got it? So now according to our definition, the temperature at which vapor pressure of liquid must be equal to the vapor pressure of its solid. Both are same, but here it is in the liquid form, it is in the solid form. In which case both vapor pressures are equal if these two physical states must be in the equilibrium. Okay, must be in the equilibrium. At what temperature both are present at equilibrium? Here you all know very well, 0 degrees Celsius. At 0 degrees Celsius both exhibit equilibrium. That means water in the liquid form is equal to ice form of the water. So they reach to equilibrium at 0 degrees Celsius. At this equilibrium only the vapor pressure of liquid must be equal to the vapor pressure of solid. At this equilibrium, whenever they reach to equilibrium, their vapor pressures are equal. That temperature we can consider it as like what? Freezing point. Have you got it? The temperature at which two physical states are reach to equilibrium. At that state, their vapor pressures also equal. Then this temperature we can call it as like a freezing point. Have you got it? Any doubt in this? All of you should understand this point. Everyone should understand this point. Is it clear? Any doubt in this? Simply the temperature at which vapor pressure of liquid is equal to vapor pressure of solid. So this condition is possible when the physical states are reached to equilibrium. I have taken this example. If you have any doubt in this, you can ask me in the comment section. I will give you reply. Now here the point which we have discussed, I want to explain with respect to graph. Okay, so I want to explain with respect to graph. So if I want to explain with respect to graph, first I want to take solid form of the solid form. Okay, so all of you see this one. I am taking this graph, y-axis and x-axis, y-axis and x-axis. On the y-axis, I am taking here vapor pressure. Okay, on the y-axis, what I am taking here? Vapor pressure. On the x-axis, what we are taking here? That is temperature. Here you can take temperature. Okay, so now first I am taking solid. This is nothing but a solid, no? Ice means solid. So solid form of solvent, only water, I did not add anything, only water I have taken, solid form of solvent. So here you see the solid form of solvent graph we are getting like this, solid form of solvent. So why sir? Whenever you reduce the temperature, okay, decrease the temperature, vapor pressure also decreases. Okay, if you decrease the temperature, vapor pressure also decreases. So that's why you got graph like this, and here you can put this is solid solvent. You can take solid solvent. Okay, done. Solid solvent. Now after this one, what do we have to take? This one only, no? What is this? This is nothing but a solvent in liquid form. Okay, solvent in liquid form. Here you see, if you plot a graph, solvent for liquid. Okay, solvent. See this is, you can write liquid solvent, liquid form of solvent or liquid solvent. Okay, so here you see this both at certain temperature, both reach to equilibrium. At what temperature? At this temperature. You have to focus here at this temperature. Okay, this one I am taking it as like a T naught F. I am taking it as like a T naught F. Have you got it? So here that only we discussed, the temperature at which, okay, vapor pressure of liquid is equal to vapor pressure of solid. See here, both liquid and solid solvents vapor pressures are equal at this temperature. So that's why this is called as pure solvent freezing point. See here, focus on here, this one is what? Vapor pressure. Both vapor pressures are equal, that's why you can take it as like a P naught. Any doubt in this? This is the point number 1, which is major. If you want to understand the remaining one, you have to have full clarity. Have you got it? So that simply the temperature at which vapor pressure of liquid is equal to vapor pressure of its solid. Okay, if vapor pressure of vapor pressure of liquid must be equal to vapor pressure of solid, means in which case both physical states must be in the equilibrium. So I want to explain this whole point with the help of water. So water if you take in the liquid form, water you take in solid form, in which case both are both vapor pressures are equal when they reach to equilibrium. When their physical states are reached to equilibrium, then only their vapor pressures will be equal. So therefore they reach to equilibrium. At what temperature both are in the equilibrium? 0 degrees Celsius. Okay, so at 0 degrees Celsius both physical states are in the equilibrium, and whenever that both are in the equilibrium, their vapor pressures are equal, then this temperature we consider as like a freezing point of the water. So now same point I want to tell you with respect to graph. So in the graph I am taking vapor pressure on the y-axis, temperature on the x-axis. First I have taken solid solvent graph, I got like this, and liquid solvent I got graph like this. Both touch with each other. At that point we can take that is called as freezing point of what? Solvent. Okay, so nothing but a freezing point of solvent. This is the vapor pressure of solvent. Up to here clear? Any doubt in this? Okay. So now what we are going to do is, after this point here we have to have clarity. See this. Now here, before going to focus on the next point, you should have clarity on the one thing. That is, vapor pressure is directly proportional to freezing point. Keep it in your mind, this one. Vapor pressure is directly proportional to freezing point. So this is freezing point of what? Solvent. This is vapor pressure of solvent, pure solvent. Now what we are going to do in this case, you see, we have solvent in liquid form, no? Solvent in liquid form. To this I am adding a non-volatile solute. Whenever you add non-volatile solute, it is becoming as like what? Solution. It is becoming as like what? Solution. So whenever it is becoming as like a solution, its a vapor pressure is what? PS. Okay, vapor pressure is what? PS. Solution vapor pressure we can represent with the help of PS. You all know very well, whenever you add non-volatile solute, vapor pressure will be reduced. Okay, that's why P0 is always greater than the PS. Okay, why? Because you are adding a non-volatile solute. That non-volatile solute reduces the vapor pressure. We have discussed in the previous classes. So here what's happening? Here vapor pressure of the solution is reduced. You know very well, vapor pressure is reduced means automatically freezing point also reduced. Have you got it? Vapor pressure reduced due to the addition of non-volatile solute, automatically freezing point also reduced. Therefore, everyone should remember one point. This is solution. Solution graph line must be lower than the solvent graph line. Here you see this, what we are going to focus here. Now you see this. This is the solution graph. Have you got it? Solution graph. Here you see this. What? Solid, not. This is solution. Solution you can take like this. Solution. So now this solution touches the, at certain temperature touches the solid line. So therefore here what can we take? This is the TF, freezing point of the solution. Have you got it? So this is the what? Vapor pressure of the solution. Here what we have discussed, due to addition of non-volatile solute, here vapor pressure of the solution decreased. Okay, therefore P0 is greater than PS. If PS is lower, freezing point also lower. Check it here. Here see, P0 is higher, PS is lower. Have you got it? And next one, here you see, here vapor pressure is lower, freezing point also lower. Have you got it? What I am saying here? Very simple, right? So now after this point, we have to have clarity on the next step. What is the next step? Here you see, all of you, delta TF is equal to, what is that? T0 F, pure solvent freezing point, minus TF, solution freezing point. So this area we can call it as like a depression in freezing point. Why? Because depressed due to addition of non-volatile solute, freezing point is depressed. Have you got it? Freezing point is depressed. How much depressed? That is delta TF is equal to T0 F minus TF. Okay, so this point. Here one more important point I want to tell you. What is that? Here P0 minus PS is directly proportional to the P0 minus PS is directly proportional to the, what is this? Delta TF. Why? Because here see, depression in freezing point is more when lowering vapor pressure is more. That means this area is directly proportional to this area. I can write like this, that is T0 F minus TF, T0 minus TF is directly proportional to the P0 minus PS. Have you got it? P0 minus PF. That means what here? Here delta TF is directly proportional to the lowering vapor pressure. Lowering vapor pressure, delta T, delta P. Have you got it? So lowering vapor pressure. Here I want to tell you one major point. Everyone should focus. Here see, we have discussed already P naught minus Ps by P naught is equal to what? Number of moles of B by number of moles of A. Here everyone focus. For solvent, here see, P naught and molar mass of solvent are constants. Both are constants. Everyone should focus on this point. Okay, so here for solvent P naught and Ma. P naught means vapor pressure of pure solvent, and here molar mass of solvent, both should be taken as like a constant. So then it is a constant, no? It goes this side. Just you focus. P naught minus Ps is equal to constant. This one I am taking it as a constant, no? Constant into Nb by what is that? Na. So therefore, if you remove constant, what would become? It will become as like what? P naught minus Ps is directly proportional to Nb by Na. Have you got it? So this expression I am going to substitute here, because P naught minus Ps is nothing but a delta P, no? So take it down this point. Very, very, very important point. You have to get clarity here, right? So now here you see, okay, after this point, what I am going to do is this expression, instead of this expression, what is that? Instead of delta P, I am going to write here delta Tf is directly proportional to what? Nb by Na, because it is proportional to this. Next point, delta Tf is directly, Nb means what? Number of moles, number of moles of solute, weight of solute by gram molecular weight of solute, gram molecular mass of solvent by weight of solvent. Here everyone should remember. Here also one more application. I already told you this value is constant. If you remove proportionality, you will take one more constant. Here you see this final next step. Delta Tf is equal to constant, okay, into this one Ma. This is also constant. Constant into constant. What will come? Constant only will come. Just wait. Here Wb by Mb into 1 by Wa I am writing. Have you got it? Any doubt in this? Just you have to focus on this point. Is it clear? Now after this final step, you see, instead of, here you see total constant K I am taking here. Delta Tf is equal to K into, what is that? Weight of solute by gram molecular mass of solute into 1 by weight of solvent. Here what is K, sir? K is equal to depression constant. K is equal to depression constant. Now what we are going to do is K by 1000 I am taking. K by 1000 we can call it as like a Kf, which is called as molal depression constant. Molar depression constant, or it is also called as cryoscopic constant. Cryoscopic constant. We can also take it as like a cryoscopic constant. Have you got it? So here this value, if you want to take next step, here you see next step. In this formula I am dividing with 1000 and multiplying with 1000. See this is the last step. delta TF is equal to K by 1000 I am taking here into weight of solute by gram molecular mass of solute into 1000 by watt weight of solvent. 1000 get cancelled, again we are getting this expression. We don't have any problem in this. Now instead of this, what I am going to write is Kf I am going to write here. Okay, so here you see this final step. Here you can see this. Okay, so final step what we are going to write, this final step, delta TF is equal to Kf into, what is this formula? This is molality formula. Molality formula, so therefore you can write molality. So this is the final formula for the depression in freezing point. We have discussed in detailed manner what is freezing point, when can we see the freezing point, and example and graphical representation. What is the depression in freezing point? So what is the relation between depression in freezing point and molality, and what is Kf, we have discussed detailedly. Okay, so now for the next step, what we have to discuss here, up to here clear? Any doubt in this? Take it down. After that, here you see the next point we are going to discuss, that is also very important point. What is that? You see here, just I am taking the formula. What is that? Delta TF is equal to Kf, cryoscopic constant or molar depression constant, into molality small m. If this is our formula, keep it in your mind. Okay, if small m molality is equal to 1, what is happening here when molality is equal to 1? Delta TF is equal to Kf. Delta TF is equal to Kf. Here only one major point we are going to discuss. This Kf is equal to cryoscopic constant or molar depression constant. This constant is depending on, very important. Okay, it depends on nature of solvent. Okay, so Kf is depending on nature of solvent. I think you may ask, how can we say, sir, it is depending on the nature of solvent? From the thermodynamic relation. Okay, with the help of thermodynamic relation, we can say it is depending on the solvent, nature of solvent. Here you see this, here first I am taking Kf, thermodynamic relation, that is equal to R into T naught F square divided by 1000 into latent heat of fusion. So with the help of this point, Kf is depending on the nature of solvent. One more formula is there, we can also take that formula. Kf is equal to what? M into R T naught F square by 1000 into delta H F, that is here not V, this is F. Okay, enthalpy mean latent heat of fusion, no, F we have to take here. So here you see this delta HF, that means what? Enthalpy of fusion. This is latent heat of fusion, okay, per gram of solvent. This is enthalpy of fusion per gram of solvent. This capital M is molar mass of solvent. Okay, so this T naught F means, you know, solvent freezing point. So with the help of these two formulas, we can say that confidently that Kf depending on the nature of solvent. Have you got it? So this is whole derivation and concept of depression in freezing point. Very simple. Whenever you add non-volatile solute to the solvent, okay, so freezing point is decreased. That means depression in the freezing point. Okay, everyone should remember one important point. Vapor pressure is directly proportional to freezing point. Vapor pressure decreased, freezing point also decreased. Same concept. This concept based, we are taking graph, we have taken example, and we derived the relation in detailed manner. Here Kf is a cryoscopic constant. It is depending on the nature of what? Solvent. How can we say the nature of solvent? With the help of thermodynamic relations. Latent heat of fusion, LF. Here enthalpy of fusion, okay, per gram of solvent. So up to here clear? Okay. After this concept, next we have to discuss about, after the depression in freezing point, next we have to discuss about what? Kb and Kf units. Okay, so all of you focus, this is also one of the important topic. Here see, our next topic, units, continuation, units of Kf and Kb. Okay, Kf and Kb. Formulas you see one by one, formulas you know very well. That is, first you take Kb, delta Tb, elevation in the boiling point is equal to ebullioscopic constant Kb into molality. Okay, or elevation constant, molal elevation constant or ebullioscopic constant. Now delta Tf is equal to what? Gyroscopic constant into molality. Now you do one thing here, that is what? Kb common. You take Kb is equal to, okay, you take delta Tb by what? M. Delta Tb by M. Okay, here also same thing, no? Kf is equal to delta Tf by M. You know very well, that is temperature. Temperature means generally we take in kelvins. Molarity, molal, you can take like this. Simply you can take here temperature Kelvin we can take, and what is this? Molality. Molality units are moles per kg. So here see, this kg goes upside, moles comes upside. So okay, so here finally you can take Kelvin kg mole inverse, you can take like this. Kelvin kg mole inverse. Same thing here also, Kelvin by mole kg. Okay, therefore here also same, Kelvin kg mole inverse you can take. These are the units. In some cases you can also take like this, what? Kelvin molal inverse. Okay, you can take like this. That means molality units, they are taking molal inverse. That's enough. You can take like this also, nothing will happen. Mostly we use this expression only, right? Up to here clear? Any doubt? These are the units of Kf and Kb. Next point here, while solving the problems in objective wise, here objective point of view, while going to solve problems, you should have clarity on one point. You take water. In the most of the problems they will give water. So water Kf and Kb values we have to remember. You take pure water. Okay. So pure water, if you take, what is Kf value? Kf for water 1.86 Kelvin kg mole inverse. This is water Kf value. Kb value is equal to, Kb value is equal to 0.52 Kelvin kg mole inverse. Okay, I think you may get one doubt. Sir, here you see, when compare these both values, here Kf is greater than Kb. You have to remember, this is also one of the important point. Kf is greater than Kb. in all cases. Why, sir? Why? What is the reason, sir? Why Kf is greater than Kb, sir? Just you focus here. You all know very well. Kf expression or T naught F square by 1000 into latent heat of fusion. Latent heat of fusion. Here you see this latent heat of fusion is lower than the what? Latent heat of evaporation. Okay, so my explanation for this point is latent heat of evaporation is higher than latent heat of fusion. If denominator is lesser value, Kf will be the higher value. So therefore, due to this relation, it is coming like this. Have you got it? Any doubt in this? You have to have clarity on these points up to here. Any doubt in this? Okay, so this is about total Kf and Kb and depression in the freezing point. We will have next class, okay, on osmotic pressure, which is very, very useful for our competitive examination. Till then, bye bye, have a nice day.